देखिए मैं लाश लिया हूँ, बेटी को लाश लिया हूँ। मैं सीतामढ़ी जिला से बोल रहा हूँ। चैनपुर में मेरा बेटी को सांप काट लिया था।
We are on the trail of death. It's not a pretty picture. But the reality hidden from our eyes. The truth of voiceless people. In far-flung villages and towns of India. A trail of broken homes, broken families, of grief, loss, suffering, anger.
देखिए मैं लाश लिया हूँ, बेटी को लाश लिया हूँ।
More than 50,000 Indians die of snakebite each year. These are lives that could have been saved. Lives that should have been saved. We raise our collective voices because the dead don't talk. A family slept huddled on the floor of their thatched house. A snake found its way in. In the dead of the night, the venomous crate crept closer, seeking the warmth of the human body. A little girl was bitten. The snake slunk away. She woke her mother, who comforted her, soothed her, not suspecting snakebite. When the girl lost her speech and could not hold her neck straight, her parents rushed her to the nearest health center. But it was too late.
It's a very pathetic incident in our life, not as an activist, but also as a school teacher. We lost Sravani.
Shravani's body came home the same morning. This is the only picture of Shravani ever taken, dead and cold. 1 year later, we reach Loharpara. This is the house where Shravani was bitten by a venomous crate. Not much has changed.
স্যালাইন দিল, অক্সিজেন দিল, স্যালাইন দিল, দৌলানা চলতে চলতে মারা গেল। আরও আগে হলে আমাদের ওটি মনে হচ্ছিল যে আরও আগে যদি নিয়ে চলে আসতাম তাহলে ভালো হয়ে যেত।
Regret, loss, suffering remain.
No bite marks, nothing, no damage, no ruptured stomach, no splattered brain. It is completely fine, a normal kid, without any abrasion, without any scratch, just dead.
Who killed Shravani? Why did Baju Ben have to die? What was Dolang's fault? Or Mubarak's? Were the snakes to be blamed, or was it the collective failure of a system not equipped to handle snakebite?
There's no reason why anyone should die of snake bites in today's day and time. After all, snake bite is a treatable disease. And yet, more than 50,000 people die annually in India from snake bites. And 5 times more people suffer morbidity.
More than 50,000 deaths each year after year. That's 137 Indians each day. Ordinary men, women, children. Alive one day, dead the next. This because we live in the death by snakebite capital of the world.
Snakebite is the most neglected tropical disease. The WHO has now acknowledged that. So India is no different from sub-Saharan Africa in that sense. What do we do? What do we do about this?
What do we do? Snakebite, preventable and treatable, but grossly neglected and ignored. Shrouded by indifference, a multi-layered complexity.
मेरा बच्चा जाते जाते मुझे कह के गया कि मम्मी मेरे को कुछ नहीं होगा ना, मैं कुछ नहीं होगा ना, मेरे को सांप को तू कुछ नहीं करना, मैं सांप को मारूंगा, खड़ा होके तो मत मारना उसको.
People are not numbers. People cannot be numbers. Who are the people dying of snakebite? What is the face of the burden of snakebite?
How many faces you will shoot? How many faces are there? Just imagine. We have to make this a national problem. It's our national problem.
We are on our way to Dharampur in Gujarat. Sainath Hospital is known to specialize in snakebite treatment. Before we can even unpack our cameras, we see Gomu Bhai. His body convulsing, pain and fear etched on his face. He was bitten by a crate in the dead of the night. He's minutes from death. His wife is due to deliver a baby any day now.
ये उल्टी करने के लिए चालू कर दिया उल्टी, फिर हमको पता चल गया कि सांप ने ही काटा है, और वो आके वो घुमा रहे थे, वो उधर से बोला सांप से वो उधर लेके जा, और मेरे पास तो खीसे में 1 रुपया भी नहीं थे.
As Gomu Bhai joins the others in a ward where anti-venom is being administered to other snakebite victims, we hear the siren. Another case has been referred here. Jinal is a little girl brought in by her father and mother. The 10-year-old is in distress. Each breath labored. She's unable to talk and her vision is blurred. Immediate intubation and anti-venom alone can save Jinal's life.
स्नेक बाइट एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि इसमें 1 मिनट का क्या 1 सेकंड का भी इम्पोर्टेंट है. तो उस टाइम में अगर हम 1-2 मिनट भी ऐसा उनको मिस कर लें तो हम पेशेंट को भी मिस कर लेंगे. तो वो अलर्टनेस इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट.
The hospital is full of patients. Darshana, bitten by a cobra. Badri Alam Sheikh by a Russell's viper. He lost 1 finger to snakebite some years back. This time, he is losing another. Another woman, envenomated by the saw-scaled viper, brings the snake in. We respect her wish not to be shot.
अभी खाने का भी नहीं पैसा है तो क्या करेगा वो लोग। तो 2 दिन से इधर पड़ा है तो हम लोग थोड़ा खाने का लाता हूँ। अभी 300 रुपया उधर से लेके आया, चाय पीने के लिए भी इसको मांगता है, क्या करेगा।
In a span of a few hours, in the ward of just one hospital, we have seen victims of bites from the big 4 venomous snakes of India.
We are shouting for this problem for last 11 years. Even before WHO has declared it as a neglected tropical disease in 2009, we have declared it as being neglected in India and particularly in West Bengal in 2007. Snake bite is a purely rural problem and their voice is not reaching to the policymakers. And dozens of deaths per day due to snake bite, they are not at all bothered.
Snakes are worshipped in India, held in awe and mystery, but feared and misunderstood, cloaked in myths and misconceptions. With nearly 300 species of snakes, it is the big 4 that are considered responsible for most deaths. Spectacled cobra, the hooded nag, found in almost all parts of the country. Grasslands and paddy fields, dense forests, open plains, rocky terrain, even wetlands. Russell's viper, a hide and weight predator. With a hiss like a pressure cooker and a powerful venom, it is responsible for a large number of deaths. Common krait, its venom, a powerful neurotoxin, a painless deadly bite with hardly any local symptom. The saw-scaled viper, just a few inches long, smallest of the big 4, but its venom, a powerful concoction of proteins that cause extensive muscle and tissue damage. With a wet bite from any of these, the one and only remedy is the anti-venom, made from the concoction of the venom of the big 4.
It is a medical emergency as much as a heart attack, as much as an automobile accident, for example. And that person has to get treatment immediately with the only treatment which is effective, and that's antivenom. We can go on repeating the word antivenom, antivenom.
Snakebite is a medical emergency. It kills, it maims, leaving a trail of misery and loss. Death and debt.
कई परिवार ऐसे हैं कि घर में कुछ खाना नहीं मिलता है तो वो ट्रीटमेंट के लिए कहाँ पैसा लाएंगे, तो आजू बाजू से वो किसी के पास बोरो करते हैं, कुछ भी करके मैनेज करते हैं, वो देना पड़ता है, तो ईयर्स तक चलता है कि भाई नहीं दे पाते हैं तो।
We travel to a village in the Dang district of Gujarat, pretty enough to be on a postcard, distant and disconnected for those who live there.
दीदी को सांप ने काट लिया है और भगवान के घर चली गई है बोलते हैं तो याद करती है। हम बोलने की कोशिश करते हैं, वो याद कर देते हैं।
पलंग पे सो रही थी तो इसने वो चिल्लाई थी, पापा कुछ ने काटा है इसे।
लाइट चालू थी और वो काट के खाट के नीचे चला गया। तब मैंने देखा टॉर्च निकाल के तो वो 2 साथ में थे।
मेरा रेनकोट बच्ची को पहनाया और यहाँ से मोटरसाइकिल के मेन रोड पे निकलते और उधर भी 2 बार मैंने 108 को फ़ोन किया, फिर मैं थोड़ी देर में आ गई। और 108 में तो दूसरा कोई ट्रीटमेंट मिला नहीं हमको तो। और इधर एक बाटला लगाया और इंजेक्शन क्या दिया वो प्राथमिक सारवार के, और उधर भी तुरंत वो डॉक्टर तो आया ही नहीं। ये नजदीक में हॉस्पिटल होना चाहिए मैडम।
Snake bite is a medical emergency and needs immediate treatment. And yet, when the victim actually approaches a community health center, they are referred to a higher hospital, which is at a district level. Many snake bite victims die on the road while being transported to a higher hospital. And if you're lucky to survive, chances are that you may not find a bed. These district level hospitals, they are completely packed beyond capacity due to all the referrals that they receive from all the block level hospitals. There are people lying everywhere, on the floor, below the bed, under the table, in the corridors. The sheer helplessness and lack of human dignity that a snakebite victim has to undergo, it is quite heartbreaking.
While the government infrastructure appears inadequate and incapacitated to handle snakebite, a handful of committed doctors struggle day and night to save the victims. For most of them, it's a personal drive to save people, because in our country, doctors are not formally trained to handle snakebite. In our country, snakebite has remained an invisible issue, neglected and forgotten.
Within 100 minutes of bite to an hospital, and 100 milliliter of antivenom is given to that patient, the patient is 100% safe. We can protect 100% of patients if they come to us within 100 minutes of bite.
The rule of 100, simple and straight. But nothing is simple or straight when it comes to snakebite. We continue to live in the dark ages. Black magic and faith healing continue to kill. Devendri was collecting firewood when a cobra bit her. Her husband chose a faith healer over a doctor. She was buried in dung for 75 long minutes. With venom in her system, she suffocated to death. For another, it was not dung, but a burial in salt. Stones and leaves, twigs and roots, salt and spices. Some call upon the spirits. Some tie amulets. Others stick thalis. The practices are varied but ineffective.
They cut, they slice to bleed the venom out. I think it's better to take that person to a nearby place, whatever be the distance of the nearest hospital, put that effort.
With the muscle-eating, nerve-damaging, blood-destroying venom in the system, nothing works. Nothing can work.
When you get bitten by a snake, it's injecting venom into you. And unless you get something to inject, to counteract it, to neutralize the venom, these little herbs in your stomach are not going to help at all.
If there is venom in the system, the detour to the faith healer ends in death, always. Exactly what happened in the case of Payal.
પછી આમ કરતી કરતી આવી પોરી મને એમ કે દાદી કંઈ કરેલું છે તો અમે કહેતા હતા કે મમ્મી મને કથે લે જા કથે મને લઈ જા આમ કરીને અંધારું થઈ ગયું મને અંધારું થઈ ગયું પછી કેથે લઈ જા તો પાછો આ પોયરો દોડતો ગયો.
वो मुंह में जैसा फैन जैसा आ गया तो भगत के पास लेके गए थे. तो वो भगत ने बोला मेरे से इलाज नहीं होगा, तुम लोग तुरंत दवाखाना धर्मपुर में उधर बोला, लेकिन नहीं. बीच में वो आंसुरा पुल पे मेरे सर पे वो माथा डाल दिया था.
With this delay, Payal died on the way.
People treating snake bite like this in a village remedy sort of situation should be penalized, maybe even for attempted murder, because they are not saving the victim. If it is going to be a fatal bite, that person will die.
Are things any different in the south of India? Rich in paddy fields, rich in snakes. On the outskirts of Chennai is a small village. We head to the village healer's home. The healer's wife leads us to a plant she claims can help snakebite victims. But we are here to share her grief. The family has recently lost their son, Palani, to a cobra bite. Palani was returning home after grazing the cows when a cobra bit him. Palani's father, the village healer, knew that no herb or traditional remedy would work because his son had venom in his system. But there was delay. Another life that could have been saved, lost.
India is one of the fastest growing economies globally, and yet the challenges of the underprivileged to avail treatment remain static. Unless there is a fully functional hospital within the 5-kilometer radius of a snakebite victim, death by snakebite incidences may not go down.
Gohni and his daughter Munmi slept on the floor of their hut when a crate bit Gohni. The crate bit Munmi too. Gohni was declared dead on arrival at the hospital. Munmi died 15 minutes after admission. Overnight, Rakhi had lost her husband and daughter, little Rupanjali, her father and sister. Yashodhara died of a cobra bite in Mumbai. 7-month-old Avane lost her mother, Chotu Kadu, his partner. Kumesh walks with a limp, a deformed leg. Antivenom saved his life, but his parents were too poor to afford treatment to save his necrosed foot. Shitubain was in her 9th month when a cobra bit her. She delivered safely even while the anti-venom was being given. 9 years later, she carries a raw wound. Kirti Sahu, a snakebite widow, she was the one bitten. Her treatment burdened the family with such a heavy loan that her husband chose suicide. Her in-the-womb child was born with a damaged eye due to the venom. She struggles to survive. How many faces, how many stories. Mohit lies brain dead since the last 4 years. He was just 4 when a cobra bit him. Manan Vora, another face of the snakebite burden. Manan was on a holiday with his parents in Diu, a luxury resort. A freak snakebite. A cobra in his pillowcase bit him. Manan was rushed to the local hospital within 10 minutes, but there was no antivenom there. He was given an antibiotic and saline and advised transfer to Una, a distance of 17 kilometers. But there was no ambulance.
दीव से ऊना की दूरी करीबन 16 या 17 किलोमीटर है। 2 एम्बुलेंस नई खड़ी थी। उन्होंने अपने ड्राइवर को फ़ोन किया। एक ड्राइवर फ़ोन नहीं उठा रहा था। दूसरा ड्राइवर है, उसके पास बोल रहा है कि मेरे पास चाबी नहीं है, मैं आके क्या करूँगा। प्राइवेट एम्बुलेंस बुलवाई। वो करीब 10 मिनट के बाद आई। वो कि मनन की आंखें तब तक झुकने लगी थी। तो एम्बुलेंस में ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर था, लेकिन ऑक्सीजन मास्क नहीं था। तो एम्बुलेंस वाले ने मुझे बोला कि आप ये ऑक्सीजन की जो नली है ना, वो मनन की नाक पे रख के मेरी वाइफ को बोला कि आप उनको पकड़ के बैठो, और मुझे बोला कि आप उनको पाँव को रब करो।
In the ambulance, Manan suffered a heart attack. In Una, he was revived, but soon slipped into a coma. His parents transferred him to Bhavnagar, where he was declared brain dead. The parents finally decided to donate his organs.
मेरे को पता है मेरा बच्चा अब जाने वाला है, और मेरे को बोलता है मेरे को मम्मी कुछ नहीं होगा। मैं कुछ भी नहीं कर पाई मेरे बच्चे के लिए।
Hospital but no antivenom. Ambulance but no driver. Oxygen but no mask. Doctors but no knowledge. Treatment that exists but is not available. What is the way out? What do we do to reduce the burden of death and disability? The answer lies in awareness.
The best thing will be to teach people how to live with snakes, how not to create microhabitats inside the house.
The message has to be loud and clear across the length and breadth of the country. We need to learn to live with snakes, prevent bites, and seek medical attention immediately in case of a bite.
সাপের দাঁতটা ওই শিরা উপশিরা ধমনীর মধ্যে ঢুকতে হবে, তবে তার ভিতরে বিষটা যাবে। বিষ সময় নষ্ট করা যাবে না, কোনো রকমের ভুল কোনো কিছু পদক্ষেপ নেওয়া যাবে না, কাটাকুটি চুষে বার করা রক্ত এসব করা যাবে না। সরকারি হাসপাতালে সময় থাকতে পৌঁছতে হবে।
Having seen the burden of snake bite and witnessed the issue up close, here are our recommendations.
The magnitude of the situation can be assessed only if snake bite is made a notifiable disease. Looking at the high incidence of deaths, snake bite is considered as mainstream treatment, and snake bite management is taught extensively in medical college curriculum.
Snakes are incredibly important in the ecological sense, and we do need to conserve them. But at the same time, we have to teach people how to live with them safely and not get bitten.
So how does one live with snakes safely? How does one prevent being bitten? The onus of safety is on us. Snakes bite us when they are confused or feel threatened. And if venom reaches our blood, it spreads rapidly. This is a grave medical emergency. So how does one prevent a snake bite? Do not allow rats to breed in your homes. Where there are rats, there are snakes. Keep your home and surroundings clean and clutter-free. Snakes like to hide in clutter. Wear shoes while working or walking in fields. Look out for snakes before sticking your hand or foot in. Check your field before starting work. Run a stick through the growth. Tap the ground. Any snake would be alerted and driven away.
So it's more a question of getting people to watch where they're putting their feet. Certainly using a light at night is something very easy and everyone can understand doing that.
Snakes are commonly found in leaf litter, shrubs and rocks. Use clear paths. If you sleep on the floor, use a mosquito net. Keep it well tucked from all sides. It is safer to sleep on a cot. Never ever fool around with any snake. Most important are the do's and don'ts in case of snake bite. This is the time to keep your wits and act fast. A majority of snakes do not have venom. Even venomous snakes may not release venom in each bite. Such dry bites do not pose any danger, but this decision should be left to a doctor. Do not allow the snakebite victim to run around. Immobilize the victim and the bitten limb. Keep the bitten area still and preferably below heart level. This will slow down the blood circulation and prevent venom from spreading rapidly. Call the ambulance immediately. 108 and 102 are toll-free numbers where help is available. If the ambulance is delayed for any reason, rush to the nearest hospital yourself. If a four-wheeler is not available, use a motorcycle. Never take the snakebite victim to a faith healer or snake charmer. No spell or charm, amulet or herb can treat snakebite. The one and only treatment for venom is anti-venom. Never try to remove venom by cutting, sucking, or with a syringe. Such actions are futile and dangerous. Do not tie the bitten limb tightly. This may interrupt blood circulation and lead to loss of limb. Thousands of Indians succumb to snakebite each year just because they did not receive the right help or timely treatment. Remember, the right to life, the right to medical treatment. These are rights given to each of us by our Constitution. But when it comes to snakebite, there appear to be no rights. We have raised our collective voices because the dead don't talk. Remember, at this very moment, somebody, somewhere, may be getting bitten.